Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin. It's Saturday, May 2nd, and I'm going to start a series here on NFL teams and their regular season win totals. We're going to hopefully go through all 32 teams, and I'm going to give it my best shot at least making you some money. At the very least, I think I'll do pretty well, though. If you follow me at the season's end, I think you'll find yourself in a pretty profitable situation. A lot to be said between now and then. But we're going to start our series off with the Cleveland Browns. Right now, the Browns, according to Bet Online, their win total is 8.5 to go over 8.5 wins. It's at moneyline odds of minus 105. And to go under 8.5 wins, we're looking at moneyline odds of minus 115. There was a lot of hype with this team a season ago. When they brought in players like Odell Beckham. Baker Mayfield was coming off a tremendous season for his rookie campaign anyway. High hopes for him with Jarvis Landry accompanying Odell Beckham on the outside. Nick Chubb, a top-flight running back. Kareem Hunt was brought into the mix, the former Kansas City Chief running back. So there was a lot of high hopes for the Browns and a lot of hype. And they didn't even come close to living up to those expectations. As a matter of fact, their over and under last year was 8.5 wins, and they fell well short of that, going 6-10. Baker Mayfield regressed under the guidance of first-year head coach Freddie Kitchens, who, by the way, was fired at the season's end, and rightfully so. It was very apparent to me early on, and a lot of NFL observers, that Freddie Kitchens was just overmatched. Good offensive coordinator, not great, but certainly not head coaching material. And I'd be highly doubtful if he ever gets another opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL. Nothing against him personally, but the Browns were a very undisciplined team a season ago. A lot of internal fighting, and a lot of that's a reflection on the head coach. Having said all that, they brought in former Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski, who takes over the head coaching duties in Cleveland. And they also fired their GM, and they brought in new general manager Andrew Berry. And you know what? Kudos to them, as the Browns had a terrific draft, in my opinion. As a matter of fact, if you read my article on the NFL draft at OSGA, you're going to find out that I gave them an A grade for their draft. I mean, I think they have 3 starters, immediate starters, in their first 3 rounds that they chose players. If you look at first-round draft choice, Jarek Willis, who's an offensive lineman out of Alabama. And then I like Jacob Phillips to be their Sam linebacker, and he's a 3rd-round choice. And then their 2nd-round choice, I think, might be the best of them all, and that's Grant Delpit, the free safety out of LSU. So I think that draft is going to produce 3 immediate starters. 2 of those guys are going to be on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Browns' defense will be good, but not great. And that's all they're going to need to be with the offensive talent they have on this team. I fully expect Baker Mayfield under Kevin Stefanski to have a turnaround season. I think he'll be able to maximize his targets. Odell Beckham, I think, will tell you himself that he had a down year a season ago. Maybe very good by a lot of other wide receiver standards, but certainly not by his. Jarvis Landry continues to be a catching machine as he puts up big numbers. He did so last year in Cleveland, and I look for him to do the same as a possession-type receiver. Looking at their offensive line, it should be solid. And what did they do on the offensive line? They got a nice UFA in Jack Conklin, the former All-Pro out of Tennessee Titans, I should say. And then, you look at the running back situation with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, 2 explosive running backs. And then we look at their schedule. They're going to be playing the NFC East and the AFC South out of division this year. They get the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys on the road. Should get at least a split there. They get Philly and Washington at home. Should get nothing less than a split there. And also the AFC South schedule, they'll have Indiana and Houston at home. Both of those games very winnable. And on the road, Jacksonville and Tennessee. They should beat Jacksonville with no problem. Tennessee will be a tough game. And then there are two games beside that. They'll be at the Jets, very winnable. And then home against the Raiders, again, very winnable. I think Cleveland's going to be a playoff team. And having said that, I don't think that they're going to overtake maybe, you know what? I do think they're going to overtake Baltimore. I hate to sound indecisive, but my point is this. If they don't win the division, which I like them as a long shot to do so over Baltimore, and that might seem crazy to a lot of you, but if you want more further information on that, I have an article that explains exactly that and at OSGA that you could read. And the other part of the equation here, too, is that even if they happen not to win the division, I think they'll be in a position to win at least 10 games, and that should be good enough to qualify them for a wild card spot. I do think the Cleveland Browns will be, at the very worst, second in the AFC North, and that includes overtaking the Pittsburgh Steelers for that position. So I like Cleveland over 8.5 wins at money line odds of -105. Until the next time when we do our next NFL regular season totals update, I would like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Stay safe, folks. Be responsible. Don't be stupid. And stay patient. And hopefully we'll all get through this pandemic that we're currently going through. Until the next time, good luck. And once again, it's the Cleveland Browns over 8.5 regular season wins at moneyline odds of -105.